We've got an event coming up here in a few weeks, and really looking forward to it. Like I was saying, I've rock climbed twice. Never never really even thought about rock climbing. I've seen it here and there, but
So good.
it's
You're so
yeah,
good.
never. Well, until I met Jenean, and she's like, "Oh, hey, why don't we, set something up here and let's do a coaching event together." And so we've set something up. I've been able to go rock climb a few times, and it's a lot of fun. I expected it to be harder to do in a lot of ways. So I was really surprised that it's like, hey, I think just about anybody, you know, can do this.
Sure. Physical disabilities not included.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But so getting out there and being able to do it, there's so many parallels to all the things that you're talking about, getting out there, the challenges that it even, yeah, it's kind of easy, and I'm fairly athletic, but I still have my challenges with it. So the rock climbing, you can make it as easy as you want or as difficult as you want.
There's varying levels. There's varying
Yeah, yeah,
levels, and the levels start. They start at, I think, at a place where a lot of people can do it, like you're saying, and that there are a lot of psychological barriers to climbing about heights or about lack of control, that kind of thing. When I'm putting my life in someone else's hands, I'm on a harness, I'm on a rope, someone else is controlling the rope, not me, all that kind of stuff.
yeah. And I guess for me, the rock climbing, when I've seen it on TV, and you see these guys hanging, or Cliffhanger, the movie that came out years ago, and you're hanging upside underneath the cliff, and you're like, well, no, I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah.
But it's really not that. I mean, it could be that if you wanted to get that.
Not that
That's
serious. No, it's not
Yeah.
that scary. No.
So it's not that intense, but it's just a cool, fun outdoor activity.
Hmm.
Um, so give us a little rundown of rock climbing. What's going on with it? How does it work? Because a lot of us don't even know what it is. And I was trying to explain it to a friend the other day, and they're like, "Oh, you're hanging off a rope, aren't you?" I was like, "Well, kinda." So just share a little bit about that. So if somebody's coming in, we're setting up doing this coaching event here, and if they wanted to join us, what are they gonna get out of this, and what are they gonna look forward to?
Well, I think looking forward to is a new experience. And literally, I think all the things that we talked about, the let go, let go, let in, lift up, are going to be present. So there's that. And then I think that going deeper part of getting in touch with what's holding you back um, from being able to get in touch with what's holding me back, and not just with this climb, with the struggle of climbing, but also with life, and thinking about those kinds of things and our strengths, and finding those strengths and pushing through some challenging situations. So I think those are things to really look forward to. Having that growth process and having like a jam-packed day of it, um, and feeling really accomplished. There's an amazing sense of accomplishment with climbing. And I think that's probably why people who start climbing get diehard about it, because you get this feeling of like, okay, I just finished that route. Oh my God, I'm amazing. Like, you get a feeling that's so powerful and so strong. For people who like to check things off their to-do list and get really, it's like that times a million. So there's that kind of feeling. And then as far as the logistics of climbing, you want me to talk about like how people get in and how they...
Sure. Yeah, a little bit, because if you don't know anything about it, like I say, you kind of have this picture of, you're hanging up underneath, a rock somewhere, but It's really not that.
Oh yeah, no, we're not just going to send you up on a rock. No, you'll be supervised. So there's a harness, and the harness is part of your lifesaver. So the harness, it goes, it's strapped in on both sides of your legs and on your waist. We use the term double back to make sure that that the harness is going through both loops and in another time, to just be sure that it's nice and tight. So you get in the harness, and then you tie a knot, a figure 8 knot, which is an indestructible knot. And the climbers help you through all of this process and do it for you and explain it as we go. And so then you get into that knot, and then you're on the rope. The climbing routes get set up before you get there, and we will show and demonstrate when people get there, so they know how we did it and that it's safe and how it works. But sport climbing has bolts, and the bolts go up every few feet. And so you clip in on a bolt, and then you put the rope through the bolt if you're leading. And you keep going up to the next bolt, and you clip in, and you put the rope through, and so on and so forth until you get to the top, where there's anchors usually, or you set the anchors, and then you tie those in. And the anchors, again, are bolted, really clearly visible. You put the rope through, and all your weight can go on those anchors, completely safe, and then come down if you're leading. And then the person who goes up next will be the person who's what we call on top rope. And so that person is obviously the safest because they're not leading the route. But that is how the route is set. And then once the next person goes up, all they have to do is worry about climbing. And
and so you're climbing, and then somebody's on the other end of the rope.
Yes.
Keeping the rope tight. So if at any moment you were to lose your grip,
yes,
you would just hang there.
Yes. So I didn't talk about the belaying part. Thank you. That's a really important part of the process. So someone is on the other end of that rope, keeping you alive and safe. So you have that indestructible knot on you, and on the other end of that rope is your partner, and they're the belayer, and they have the rope going through a device, which essentially is a brake. The climber's the gas, and the belayer's the brake, essentially, or they can brake anytime they need to. So let's say you're climbing and you slip or you fall, you're not going anywhere. Climbers say that all the time. You're not going anywhere. And that's because you literally just fall where you're at. So the climb's up here, and let's say I slip, I just stay where I'm at because there's so much tension on the rope, and the belayer has braked for me and is holding the rope for me. So I can just take a break and have some tea, have some coffee, read a book, whatever, just chill on the climbing.
Turn around and take a peek at the view. There's usually a pretty good view on the backside. So
yes, the view is amazing usually. And then get back up when I'm ready. And then I let my partner know, hey, I'm going to climb again. And then they're like, okay. So you go back up. And then once you're done with the climb, whether that's making it to the top or whether that's just like, hey, this is tough, I'm out. Or, I'm just ready to come down for whatever reason. They say, okay, no problem. Bring me down slowly. And the belayer kind of slowly brings you down, and you get to kind of see that view again as you come down, and then you make it safely to the floor and give your partner a high five, and they say you did awesome, and then you go back up again when you're ready.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, so this day, we're going to be playing with being able to take you through the rock climbing. But not only the rock climbing is we're going to go through some coaching exercises too. So this is going to be rock climbing with coaching on top of it, because there's so many things like, Jenean's talking about, things that are coming up for you as you're going, like the other day, going up, when you first get going, your trust issues start coming up. Can you trust it? Then you go, okay, do I have the ability to do this? Do I have the strength to do this? And then, kind of making your way through, and for me, you know, I got 3/4 of the way up there and it was just like, oh my gosh, my arms are wore out. And that's when I was able just to go, okay, I can sit back, I can rest for a moment.
Correct.
And at one point I was like, I'm not going to make it. And I was like, no, I can make it. And so I just take a few moments longer and, you know, kind of rest a little. And then I was able to make it on up. So there's so many parallels that come in, you know, with the rock climbing and with life. And so what we hope for you, if you come to this, is coming in with whatever the top challenges is you've got going on in your life, is we want to help you work through that, coach around that, and we're going to use rock climbing as the mode to kind of take you through that.
Yes. Word. Yes. Very well said.
So anybody interested in doing that, we're going to be doing that on December 9th. And I'll have a link in the description here below that you can kind of check that out. And we'd love to have you come on out. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you. Thanks, Jenean.
Bye.